In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Vintage Collection Carbonized Imperial Death Trooper. Hi there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk's Bounty video, and welcome to my review of the Carbonized Imperial Death Trooper on this very shiny Mandalorian card back. And I've got to say that these card backs are very interesting indeed, almost bizarre. And I'm going to get into why that I think they are a little bit bizarre in a couple of seconds. I'm hoping it comes through on the video because under these lights they do reflect a lot, so it might be difficult for me to show. And since putting it under these lights, I've also noticed something else about the colour of the card back as well. So we're going to get into that right now actually. Let's have a look at the card back and see if we can get it so that it doesn't reflect. You see, as soon as I do that, it almost goes black. That's because of the shininess of it. It's very like the foil card backs from the original Vintage Collection line. So I'm almost going to have it like this so you can see the image. There is the Death Trooper there. It is a scene from the Mandalorian, and we've got the green name pill there, the green plate behind the figure, and of course the whole card back is shiny and the figure is apparently carbonized. This thing here is a sticker. And the card back itself is super sturdy, really thick cardboard. And the thing I wanted to show you, if I can possibly show you, is that there seems to be this line going up here. Can you see that? And that is almost like a groove in the card. It's almost a raised area of the card and it goes all the way round. So even though the sides are a bit thinner than the rest of the card, they are still super sturdy and thick cardboard. You're not going to be able to bend these or damage these unless you really force it. So I guess on that front, it's okay. The bit that I don't think I'm going to be able to get through on camera is that when you shine this thing in the light, the actual card back is green. So it looks completely black, just like any other card back there. You can see it looks black. But in certain lights, the whole thing looks like a green colour. And I'm sure the other carbonized figures in the line are going to be their sort of colour. So obviously this one's got a green name pill and the whole card is green. So I would imagine that the Mandalorian, for example, is going to be maybe a sort of rusty orange colour going around the card. But it is very difficult to see in this light because it is so shiny. But there's the figure in the bubble there. And we're going to get the figure out and we're going to compare him against this one. So this is the original one. This one was VC127 in the line. Standard Imperial Death Trooper on a Rogue One card. And now I know some people have complained slightly that they haven't removed the pauldron on this guy because in the Mandalorian, as you can see there, he doesn't have the pauldron. So he's got all of this like battle armor and everything, but in actual fact, the one in the Mandalorian doesn't have that. But that's just one little gripe, I guess. But back of the card, there is no numbering on the card. You've just got literally the 4 figures in the wave. And the wording on there says, the Carbonized Collection Imperial Death Trooper figure has been treated with a sleek metallic finish down to the finest detail. So let's crack this figure open and let's just see what it's all about. Something to quickly notice about these card backs and the reason why they're so thick and possibly why they do have this ridge making sort of like the inner part of the card thicker is to accommodate for the bubble. Because when I've tried to take the bubble off like I usually would in the normal way of a figure where getting a knife and lifting it off, the bubble is actually underneath this layer of cardboard. So you're never going to be able to get these bubbles off without damaging the card unless of course you get a Stanley knife and actually cut the bubble, which I might actually do that now I've started that. Let's do it a different way. Let's cut this open and take the figure out that way and then we won't damage the card back. So there you go. I've sliced the bubble open and you can really see how thick the cards are there because obviously the bubble goes underneath that part. You can see it lifting up there. It's a bit of a shame that the normal Vintage Collection figures aren't on card backs this thick. It would save a lot of damage in the post and things like that. But yeah, these are very much like a sort of convention exclusive. Very much like that sort of prototype Darth Vader from the Retro Collection. That's the sort of card back we're talking about here. But anyway, I've got the figure out, so let's check him out. Alright then, so here is the figure out of the packaging. And I guess you can see that he is shiny, I guess, and he certainly feels funny. He feels very, very smooth. It's almost like they've like put a varnish over him or something. It'd be interesting to see the other figures in the line and see what they've done with those, because this figure is obviously all black. It's quite easy for them to just sort of lacquer him up, as it were, whereas the Mandalorian, for example, has got lots of different parts to his outfit and different colours to his outfit, whereas this guy's, just jet black basically. He's still got the green eyes, as you can see there. Bit of paintwork on his little sort of bombs there on his belt, and we've got the silver belt buckle there. But I think the best thing to do really is to compare him against the actual Death Trooper from Rogue One, and then you can really see the difference. Yeah, I mean, looking at them like that, I mean, the Death Trooper anyway is quite shiny, but this guy, it's almost like he's got like a green tinge to him. It's going to be very difficult to see that on the camera, but having him in hand, it sounds a bit strange to say it because he is black, but he has like almost a green tinge to him. Can you see the way the light is coming off his chest there? And he's almost got like a bit of green to him. Very, very difficult to describe without sort of holding him in your own hands, but there you go. You can get a really sort of good comparison with them next to each other. And it's the same with the blaster as well. The blaster has been treated. So here's the new blaster versus the old blasters. You can see it's had some sort of silver weathering done to it, carbonized as it were. He also does come with his little hand pistol, which again has been treated. You can just see there. Yeah, very, very strange indeed. Now, obviously, when these were announced, these carbonized figures, I wasn't fond of the idea. I can see that inbox collectors are going to quite enjoy them. They do look quite smart. The cards are lovely. And of course, the Death Trooper one that we've just seen does have a new image. So that is straight from the Mandalorian. So it is a new image compared to the Rogue One card back. But the figure itself, I can't really see any reason why perhaps you would want this figure in your collection mixing with the other figures. I think purely that they are for inbox collectors. And they're going to look pretty good on the wall next to the other ones. It's got to be said. Would I prefer new figures instead of repainted figures? Absolutely, of course I would. But they've done this for the Black Series, and it was quite inevitable that they were going to do it for the Vintage Collection as well. But, and I'm sure probably in the next 6 months we'll probably see the Credit Collection as well in the Vintage Collection, because they seem to have gone down quite well with the Black Series community. So anyway, I'm not going to go through any of the articulation or anything because it's exactly the same as the Death Trooper. It is exactly the same figure, just painted differently. So I'm pretty sure you'll know all of the articulation that this figure is going to have. But there he is. Very interesting indeed. Alright then guys, so that is the Carbonized Vintage Collection Death Trooper. Thank you very much for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Drop a like down below, subscribe if you're new, and we shall see you on the next one.